Alright, if you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. I got one item today. I'm sitting on this one for a bit. And today's the day, right? So, you get, every once in a while, you strike gold, right? So, went into the thrift shop, saw this. The fact that it had a bag of figures attached to it actually made me more interested in the bag of figures than the thing on it. And a quick look at the back of the figures in Kratts Bros. I'm like, that sounds familiar. It's maybe not something I've had in the past, although I think I have gotten one or two. But it struck something in my brain. And then I looked it up. And I found out what I have. And what I have is extraordinary. So we're going to be unwrapping this and really taking a good look at it before I list it for good reason, as you will see if you are not familiar with what this is. I spent $5 on it. And no matter what we decide, it's probably going to be the single best thing I've bought this year for sure, maybe ever. Maybe ever. They did put painter's tape on it, which is nice. We're going to talk about cleaning these things up. Part of this, was the decision to grab this is thankfully, there's our $5, due to instincts. I like to talk about instincts. You have to have good instincts to do this. Knowledge, very important, but call it what you will, just being able to recognize items of quality is a big thing. I talk about weight. Things that weigh certain amounts, and you can tell value based on what went into it. And then there's supply and demand. We talk about that all the time. That is how this works. So, what are the Kratts? The Wild Kratts is the show. This is a tie-in to a PBS show, and I've talked about this frequently. PBS does not have a production wing. So, back in my day, when I was a kid in the 80s and the 90s, what would happen is executives would say, hey, we would like to sell some toys. Let's make a TV show. And they'd make a TV show. Make the line of figures. They would be released at the same time. They'd run the show for 1 or 2 seasons. They'd have the toys out for, the first season into the second. And that's it. But after that, what are you going to do? You're not going to buy, Ninja Turtles. You own the Ninja Turtles. You're not going to buy that many. They've tried to do stuff where they ran shows for a long time and tried to get you to buy more stuff. It doesn't work. So the toy executive figured out, if I just run this for like 2 seasons, you're going to buy all the stuff, and then we're going to make a new show. And you're going to buy all that shit too. PBS doesn't do that. They do the opposite of that. They run shows forever, and they don't really make very many toys. So like Jack's Pacific does some toys, Moose does some toys, and these are just companies that take licensing and just make stuff. They don't own anything necessarily. But PBS just doesn't have that hard on for toys. So, supply and demand. The supply of the toy is very finite. They make a run sometimes. But that show is always on. And it's always generating fans. So Wild Kratts falls into this territory. Wild Kratts is a PBS show. It's been on... I think they did 7 years worth of it. It's been off the air, like new ones have been off the air for like 8 years. But it still streams, and it's still out there. And this is the Tortuga playset. So, important thing to know about playsets. These are expensive. So when toys come out, you got figures and they sell. But in that supply and demand aspect, you're going to have far less sales on big honking stuff. Parents don't want it around. Therefore, it doesn't sell as well. Therefore, it has a higher collector value. Like G.I. Joes go for money, but G.I. Joe vehicles go for absurd money. And that's just how it is. The bigger and more cumbersome something was, the less of them that were sold. You know, vehicles take impacts and stuff. They just don't survive all that well. And they end up carrying significantly more value. So I don't know a lot about wild Kratts. But I'm going to look at some of these guys. You got this dude. 2014 Kratt Bros. And we're going to take our time with this because I only got one toy. And we're going to figure out what we're getting out of this. My idea right now is to sell all of it in one lot. But we got to see what's here first to do that. Make sure it's all Kratt Bros for one thing. It's all from the same year so far, 2014. Alright, so we have duplicates apparently. So that's cool. We're going to have a second string of guys. That one's busted. That sucks. Toe's busted. However, might not matter. We'll see. Got some random guys. These do not go to this. This is Pixar Disney from probably Happy Feet or something. That has nothing to do with this. That's Kratt Bros though. We got a big longhorn rhino, whatever those are called. This dude's being a turtle. I don't know if they transform into stuff. That kind of seems to be the vibe. Yeah, that really seems to be the vibe. They transform into animals. I don't know if this is the same guy and he's just transforming into different stuff. If there's a team of guys that transform, we're dig into that. Got this blue thing. Might be a part to the vehicle. I don't know. It's not really labeled as anything. So we're not going to throw anything out. Certainly. Being a sloth, I guess. That's Kratt Bro. More duplicates beyond that first one. I don't remember what I know I got something from them, but I don't know if I actually sold it. Can't really read this guy's belly. Hold on. This just says made in China. I don't know if it goes to this, but I kind of don't think it does. The feel of the plastic is different. So I think that somebody cleaned out their kids' duplicate one again. Kid's closet, and this was all kind of like together. Another duplicate. But, oh, see. Now we know that this dude's tail's busted. This guy is not, and I bet that's a major pain point, because that does not look very intact. Now we're looking at 2 different lots, which is fine by me. Whatever this thing is. Roadrunner, maybe? That's like a flying lizard. This, I don't know. Yeah, it is a Kratt Bro. Okay, I kind of thought it would go with something else. Shark. Oh, we got an elephant one. Oh, but he's missing his head. I was wondering why he was the only guy that didn't have a weird mask. He's been decapitated. So we got another lion. It's probably, oh, that is a Kratts, bro. I was gonna say that's probably safari limited, but lots of these. Wicked Cool Toys is the maker. Kratts. We got the tail that went missing. Include that. People could put it together if they feel like it. Good animal there. That's not a duplicate. And then we got like a snake dude. Alright. We got a lot of this. And then we got a random Pixar guy. But whatever. So let's go real quick and look at different Kratts Bros. Alright, so let's throw up Kratts Brothers. 215 for sale. So we got like some discs. I don't got any of those, but we got the figures. A lot of 8. Do we have all these? I think we were close. One elephant. We missed the elephant because his head was broken off. So we got 5 green guys. So they got 5 green guys. His tail is missing. That's what I said. That's a pain point. That's going to come up a lot, I bet. Just on the build of these figures. So we got 5 green guys, and then we got 4 blue guys. We got one that they don't have, though. They don't have the bird. Okay. I don't know how many of these there actually are. So we're just getting an idea. Another one. And then we got tons of animals. A koala and a iguana. We don't have those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green. 1, 2, 3, 4 blue. But again, we know that there's an elephant that they don't have. So maybe it was 5 and 5. That may have been the full set. They're all from the same year. So that they made toys about 3 years into the series. Which I'm sure an executive at Kenner would have thrown up. Not that idea, but it's PBS. They just roll different. A lot of 18 for 40 bucks. And these discs, everybody's got these discs, and I'm afraid that these might be important. So we're gonna go let's punch in figures. See if that changes anything. 111. Left the plushies in. What's the sell-through on Kratts figures? About 50%. I don't want it to show me the vehicle. That's gonna come up later. Okay. But this is a good thing. 11 selling for $40. 16 selling for $60. We've got 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. We have at least 20. I'm just going to Google Lens this kind of odd guy out, the black cat looking thing. I don't think he goes to this. That would be 21 if he did. We'll see. But doubtful. This is Imaginext, Super Friends, League, whatever. Okay, so it ain't that. Side, cool. So we got 20. All right, so we're gonna move these aside. And we also have a lot of damaged ones. So we look at this vehicle. Let's get an idea of what this thing's doing. So we got like a head. You can pull the neck out and open it. You can go inside. Seat your guy down if any of these were not transformed into animals, maybe. So There's that, and then that goes back in. We get like a gem. That's a lock. And inside, pretty standard base. That works, whatever that is. Should be something in there related to the show, I'm sure. We got like a pole that seems to not be attached. I think that might be missing something to hold it in, but it's in place. Not sweating that too much. A railing. That doesn't do anything. And there's like a... Oh, there's a dude in there. How are we gonna get him out? Oh, there's two. Okay. Oh, we saw this guy. We saw the koala. Or whatever this is. His face is chewed up. A cat chewed him up. That's not good. But he's a Kratts bro. And then we got an armadillo. Oh, there's a ton. Oh, there's also a door on the back. We got that iguana. And then we have a penguin. Which is GeoBra, doesn't go to this. That was good. That's why, not a bad idea to check stuff out. You can have them go through the back and rotate in through that. This thing, I don't know what it does. It said slide. That seems to be okay. I don't really understand the function. That thing pops open. We got like a TV screen. The sticker's still on it. And that's just the mechanism for the turtle head to go in and out. It goes together. It's kind of wonky a little bit. I don't like that it doesn't line up. And I don't know how that would happen. Unless it got warped somehow, which it may have. Might have had something on top of it for a long time and it just crushed it. The back seam, you could see it doesn't really come together right. And I can't even really bend it in a way where it does. So that's just like flat out warped. It's just too bad. That's the hatch that we were goofing with earlier. Alright. So, this is Wild Kratts Tortuga. Wild Kratts. Oh, I should have put Wild Kratts. That's actually my screw up earlier. Doing this, as I put Kratts Bros. Rather than Wild Kratts, which is the show. Wild Kratts, okay. Anyways. This is all kind of the same stuff, but our number jumped from 200 to 21. And our sell-through went to 50%. 50%'s a good sell-through. How about Tortuga? Well, Wild Kratts Tortuga. Oh, it's too bad there's none for sale. None of these for sale right now, huh? How many sold in the last 90 days? Oh, motherfucking all of them. 66 of them, in fact. And our pricing. 9 figures with Tortuga. $300. Just the base. 120. This one's 320. Large lot over 300. Some of these discs of little vehicle. So I have more figures than most of these. And the fact of the matter is, there were 2 for sale last time I looked. They were both in the $300 range and they both sold. There are 0 left for sale. And this is the day after Christmas. I get that. So what does that mean? When there's literally none left for sale? It means that I can price it however I want. and I'm going to get at least $300 for it. So my 5 turned into at least 300. So this one is 380. And what do they got? They have, I'm guessing these guys come with the vehicle because they sit down and would fit in that. So they have some of the transformations, they have some of the crew. Not as many of the animals as me. And that was $400. And that seems like, and 25 bids, by the way. So, that seems like a good place to start. What does $400 turn into? I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to guess that after a while, eBay takes a pretty big bite out of that. After a dollar amount. I'm guessing. I've never sold anything that much. Should be easy to ship. But yeah, this is the best flip of the year. If not, ever for me. The only things that I can think of off the top of my head were a Schleich World of Nights stable in the box I got for $2 because somebody thought it was a puzzle. I flipped that for 80. And then I got a professional quality Xbox One steering wheel with, like, you know, gas clutch brake assembly for $5 that I flipped for like 180. So yeah, this is probably the single best thing I've picked up. I guess maybe my Littlest Pet Shop pickup was pretty outstanding at a dime a piece, but I'm going to take it. I don't like that it's warped, and I don't think there's a lot I'm going to be able to do about it. I'm going to go through some pictures just to make sure that this isn't like a defect, because otherwise I gotta, or, you know, not a defect, but like a manufacturing flub, or see if this is common that they warp, because there is really no way to fix this. I don't think. You know, I could try to apply heat to it, but I just don't want to risk making it worse. That's just not my thing. So, yeah. And then we get the other lot. I forgot about that. That's probably going to be another $25. Yeah, call it that. Pretty sweet. All right, so if you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.